Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Inshallah, today I will present my proposal with title The Method of Communication with Children According from Hadith in Sahih Bukhari. First thing first, my name is Muhammad Syazwan bin Ahmad. My MATRIC number is 1171588. So the communication is a way or medium that we use in interacting with people. Communication also an act that we always use in our daily affairs. Good communication can lead us to a good and pleasant society. This research aims to identify the method of communication with children according from hadith in Sahih Bukhari. In addition, it is about how much they know about the method of communication with the children from Prophet Muhammad. To collect the primary data, qualitative method has been chosen by using library research. Next, a research through Sahih Bukhari and its explanation book, which is Sharah book of Sharah, will be the main reference to accomplish this research. It is hoped that the finding of this research will help us to make a good communication with children based on what Prophet Muhammad taught. So for the introduction, communication is the transmission of information from a party to another party. It can be verbal, for example, one person talking to another, or it can be non-verbal, such as scowl and on a person's face that will probably let other people know he is angry. Communication also can be positive or negative, effective or ineffective. Naomi Richards also mentioned that communication is a two-way process that involves on trying to understand the thoughts and the feeling the other people is expressing. Children's lives are controlled by the family and the people who take care of them. Their development depends on the attention and care given. Through talking and playing, seeing others, and participating family life, indirectly they have been built physically and emotionally. Islam places great emphasis on communication because most of the da'wah is conveyed by the Prophet Muhammad through words. Good words and language are used so that they can easily understood. The communication approach used to adult is very different from approach to the children. Children have a very sensitive soul when we do something to them. The choice of words play a very important role because they are more easily influenced by what others do. For the problem statement, this study will try to find out the method of communication based on Prophet Muhammad thought. Communication is one of the basic things that all people apply every day. Without communication, information cannot transmit from one person to another person. Communication also including all people, either elderly, youth, or even children. Nowadays, all family members or guardians should learn and master on communication skill because children nowadays are easily influenced to what we talk. There are many methods or skills of communication that have been taught by psychiatrists, doctors, and others to make the family members or guardians are able to communicate with children smoothly. There is no denying that Islamic perspective also taught about how to make a good communication with children. Having studied these two types of communication from the West and from the Islamic point of view, there are some elements that are lacking or not present in the form of teaching from the West but exist in the teaching of Islam that taught by Prophet Muhammad. Therefore, this matter should be reviewed so that we can determine whether the means of communication taught by Prophet Muhammad when with children. Right now, I will explain about significance of research. Communication is a way or medium that we use in interacting with people. Communication is also an act that we always use in our daily affairs. There is no denying that the beginning of something starts with the family institution. The challenges faced by especially by parents in educating children are indeed difficult. Parents need to be skilled and professional in communicating with their children, especially the younger ones, because the variety of these children is difficult to predict. Good communication can also help the children in the process of growing up well. In addition, effective communication can also have a positive impact on the children. The man who has a quality of inspirational discussion, people long for his company, many problems are solved due to his words, and many obstacles are covered without using force. Hence, this study will be helpful to all the families and guardians to make a guidance on how they can make a good communication with children. In addition, it will also serve as a future reference for preschool teachers and babysitters, so they can apply the method of communication with children easily. For the goals and objective, the goal of this research is to highlight the methods of communication with children taught by the Prophet Muhammad, so that they can practice and apply it on their children in the future. So for the research objective, I including three objectives for this research. Number one is to identify the method of communication with children in hadith from Sahih Bukhari. Number two, to determine the communication between Prophet Muhammad and children. And the last one, to collect the hadith from Sahih Bukhari about method of communication with children. For the research question, number one, what is the method of communication with children in hadith from Sahih Bukhari? Number two, what is the example of communication between Prophet Muhammad with children? And the last one, what are the hadith about method of communication with children that include in Sahih Bukhari? For the literature review, communication is a process of transferring information from a person to another person. This process was happen every single day, whether we are at home, school, office, or an other place. Communication can take place directly or indirectly by using term verbal for direct communication and non-verbal for indirect communication. Verbal communication also means that we present our thoughts, emotion, wills, and wishes through conversation and speaking, and non-verbal communication means we frequently present our emotion, feelings, and thoughts without speaking. Communication also need to be effective because the children are still young, and we cannot use the way how we talk with people who is elderly or adolescents. If parents communicate openly and effectively, chances are that their children will too. It is a fact that intelligence, money, and reputation are the globally accepted symbols. However, if anyone does not possess the art of effective and inspiring communication, he cannot win the heart of many people. Besides, the language that used during make a communication with children need to be choose. The language is the instrument to make a good and better communication with children. According to Muhammad Nias, for effective communication, the selection of suitable words, phrase, and sentence is direly important. Otherwise, we would not be able to communicate our thoughts and intentions in an understandable manner. For the research design involves the planning, organization, collection, and analysis of data to provide answers to questions such as What techniques will be used to gather data? What sampling strategies and tools will be used? And how will time and cost constraint be dealt with? The researchers propose to use the document analysis, which is the researcher will use books, journals, analysis data, and other sources that have been documented as the main. Qualitative research, then, is a broad approach to the study of social phenomena. Its various genres are naturalistic and interpretive, interpretative, and it draws on multiple methods of inquiry. For the data collection, the researcher is only using document analysis as data collection tools. Data collection involves studying the documents such as books, journals, articles, or any documented data. The researcher will employ the services of research assistant who will be given a time frame for collection of the data for analysis. For the for the data analysis, the researcher is using thematic analysis to analyze data. Thematic analysis is a method for systematically identifying, organizing, and offering insight into patterns of meaning, themes across a dataset. Through focusing on a meaning across a dataset, thematic analysis allows the researcher to see and make sense of collective or shared meanings and experience. Identifying unique and idiosyncratic meanings and experience found only within a single data item is not the focus of the thematic analysis. For the conclusion, this research is very useful for all people, especially for family institutions, because they are the nearest guardian of their family members. Indeed, to form good communication with children, it is necessary to start from the family. It's very important because we can monitor their movement and upbringing. The communication approach brought by the Prophet Muhammad is the best approach and should be practiced to children. That's all from me. Thank you for your listening.